Hey folks, making a new video on my newest reptile that I got. Try to wrap this up pretty quickly. I've named him Caesar. He's a piebald veiled chameleon. I got him from Petco. He was a little bit older, maybe within his first year of life or at his first year of life. So he was bigger than you usually see. And then so with that thinking, I was like, they've either had him for a little while or he was, taken through the system a little bit older, which means probably a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more potential for a little bit better health. When they're young, you can get them and bring them home, and then within a couple of weeks or in the first month, they can get, they could be very weak from being in the pet store and being shipped to the pet store, and they can die. So I had high hopes for this guy with him being larger, and I went into Petco not intending to buy him at all. I would rarely, very, very, very rarely buy something from Petco, but I was in there buying my dog food and just kind of messing around in there, and I saw him and I was like, I was in the mood maybe to spend a little bit of money. He was $130 regular price, and they had him marked down 25%. So I ended up getting him for about $98, which is still not cheap, pretty expensive. But I've always loved chameleons, and I've had two chameleons before in the early or the late 1990s. I had one in like 1996. And then I had another one in about 2003, I think, both Jackson's chameleons. And that's for another day, another video, if I make a video on it about the situation with those two. They lived with me, but I ended up, long story short, I lost them. I take my reptiles outside sometimes, and I took them outside, and me being ADD, and I got sidetracked. And in no short time, I had lost them. But when it was unable to find them, different situations. Maybe one day I'll talk about it in a video. But definitely, I try to, when I go outside with either my snakes. I don't take my tegus out there because they don't really do well outside unless they're in a enclosure outside and they can't get away from me. But these don't walk very fast, and so you can take them outside and give them natural sun. But again, if you forget that they're out there and you come back in 20-30 minutes and they're not there, that's not a good thing. But I wanted to show you today, I made a video on this enclosure that I bought for $253. Usually enclosures like this cost somewhere between $400 to $500 to $600. I stumbled upon a relatively new company in the last 3 years, and I got a video on this. I'm really happy with this enclosure. But my point of my video, since I've made one on this specific enclosure, was I got a Mr. system. My first Mr. system that I've had out of all my reptiles since owning reptiles in the late 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. All the way up to 2025, I never had a Mr. system. They didn't really have them available, in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s. There just weren't that many companies out producing stuff for reptiles. But let me come over here and get it. This is, and I shut everything off. Let me kick this on. I'm going to show you all the things that I also just recently purchased to finish out the enclosure. And it was reasonably affordable. And this is the Mr. system from ReptiZoo. They have a couple of different priced systems, and they're different size. So this is an 800 milliliter Mr. that will spray the cage down on a timer and wet it down to different segments of time and different amounts of mist to either put a lot of humidity into your cage or actually give your animals some drinking water. And that's primarily what I've done for this chameleon. This is going to go off at about 7 a.m. and it's going to go off at about 7 p.m. every 12 hours. It's just going to wet the leaves down and put some big drops of water on them, and it's going to add humidity, like we need more humidity here in Texas. but you know, moisture for the plants, a little bit of extra moisture, because I can't flood the cage, but it's going to give him the opportunity, if he wants to drink some of the moisture off the leaves. Yes, some of the moisture that they rely on, they get from your crickets and your worms and the things that you give them. So that's a reason to give your insects, called gut loading, give them fresh water and give them minerals and things that you want to pass along to your reptile once your reptile eats the insects. But yeah, so the portable mini timing misting system from ReptiZoo, and I don't get paid by any of these companies to do this. This is just something I like to do. I think it's a quality product. I bought other ReptiZoo lights and light fixtures from the company, and I've been very happy with them. But this is about $50. Some of the systems range from, you know, $120 to $200, and they're exactly the same thing. So I'll show you more about the actual unit that I have mounted right over here on the side, and some additional things I just bought on Amazon Prime. I'm a member of that, so you get free shipping. So $50 for this, and you know, $20 for something else I needed, which I'll show you here in just a second. I've named my piebald veiled chameleon. I named him Caesar. Caesar of Augusta. You know, the man usually had some green, you know, ivy or something around his head in photos, if you look it up on Google. And he was a Roman general, and he also was a dictator that took over the Roman Empire. So he had these, like I said, I mentioned the green things around his head, and it just reminded me of a Caesar here, and his, you know, his crest that he has on him. So that's where he got his name. I just think it fits really, really well, rather than calling him something like a pharaoh, because the pharaohs had the tall headdresses on them, you know, and it was more appropriate because of his crest that he has, but I couldn't come up with a good name that just fit him. So Caesar. But yeah, but the mister that I got, that is the really cool thing I want to show you more about. So I'm going to pull the camera up over here. Never had one before, but it was very easy to install. We're looking through the glass of this this hybrid enclosure. It came with 2 of these misters, but again, I don't need 2. That would really spray this cage down in excess. So I just have one up, but I have one, you know, that I can use at another time. And the cable runs to the back there. And in this cage, there's a little port back there that you can open up to run cables in and a mister in and out. And so that was really helpful. But yeah, so that's how it's set up. And the little nozzle is like 6-way adjustable to aim it, not up and down, but directly out. I'm going to pull you in a little bit closer. This is pretty common of these types of things, not super expensive, but you can rotate this way. You can't rotate it up and down. That's unfortunate, but you can rotate it around, and then you can even rotate this up so that it's higher. That may not be a bad thing to do, but just aim it over here, because I don't want to spray it on the glass. And it goes off again at 7 a.m. and every 12 hours is how I have it set up, and it goes off at 7 p.m. and it'll just wet everything down in a fine mist. He does not like to be sprayed with water, and that makes sense. Who wants to be sprayed with water? But yeah, he gets upset when he's sprayed with water, so I don't want it being sprayed directly on him. But let me move you to and just show you. I made a video on this cage setup if you want to learn more about it. It was reasonably priced, and it's very nice, and it uses the EcoFlex material. It's kind of like a vinyl, plastic, but it's not going to be harmful for your reptiles or anything that has any negative contents to it. It's all pretty much positive. And then the tempered sliding glass doors. And that is true glass, and it's quite heavy. But here we have the ReptiZoo mister right here. This is the brains, and up top it has all the controls. You can set the intervals that it's going to come on. You can set it from directly on to 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour and 12 hours. So it'll come on every time you set that to 2 hours, it would come on every 2 hours, or vice versa, 4 hours, or every 8 hours, or 12 hours. And then over here, this is the on and off, and this is the that's going to set how long the mister sprays. So again, you have, I can't see, a couple of minutes to 10 minutes to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 120 minutes, and so forth. But the cool thing about this is it holds quite a bit of water for one animal or one small or medium-sized cage. But you can pour directly your filtered water or your bottled water directly into this so that you don't have to take it apart, and you just pour it directly in there and you fill it till it goes up to the top. And I have it all the way to the top with filtered Brita water, a premium filtered water, and then it goes off and mists the cage. The additional part that I needed, and because I've used this power strip, and I needed a power strip with a timer in there, and so these are on the timer. These are not controlled by the timer. So this was just a $22 item from Amazon, and it's a great name. The BN Link is high quality stuff that I've been using for 15 plus years, and this is running all my lights, and the constant power, which is not on the timer, is the water mister right there, and that because it has its own timer. But there's the hose outlet that goes up to the back and through the back port of the enclosure, and then hooks up to the mister, which is right here. And these are these pre-cut out ventilation on both sides of the enclosure that allow air to go into the enclosure and out the other side. It just allows for airflow. And the little mister with its 2 prongs sets up perfectly just right here. I just pulled the suction cups off that this will usually suction cup to the glass of a terrarium or a vivarium, and then I just inserted them in the ventilation slot. So it works out, and it's holding it very securely, and that's my setup. But I'm kind of proud of it. First mister, and not a MR, Mr. Brian, but a MISTER, Mister. Not to confuse the two. But look, very, very cool. And I'm very happy with this terrarium. Even though $250 is not cheap, things are just very expensive for reptiles, and there's just no way around it. But this is a high quality cage. Again, watch my video. I'll link this video at the end, so if you want to watch it. Very affordable compared to other enclosures or hybrid enclosures. We have all glass terrariums or vivariums where it's all glass top, bottom, all the way around with a screen top. And then you have a hybrid, what people are calling hybrid enclosures, but usually have a screen front and then this vinyl material all the way around. And there's plus and minuses for both. And then most of them will have a screen top because you have to put lights and UVB and heat and plant lights on top. So that's got a really nice taut screen that's a little bit larger so that it cuts less of the heat in the UVB that enters into the cage. It doesn't cut as much light out. And then again, the color of this was one that I specifically went with so that it would be able to allow a little bit brighter interior. Gray cages will, the gray plastic or very similar enclosures, if you buy them the gray color, it makes them very dark inside. So it's definitely more bright and more lively in there because of the sand exterior and interior color. But yeah, you can see the vents on this side. And yeah, so I'm very happy with it. And these slide really easily on the aluminum track here on the bottom and the top. I added a little bit of biodegradable lubricant that allows these to slide, the glass to slide a lot easier. So that's something you can do because they don't slide nearly that easy. So you put a little bit of your favorite lubricant. You could even put some olive oil maybe. I don't know how long that would last and stay lubricated with olive oil, but olive oil does a really good job, and it's not going to hurt your animal as long as you don't excessively fill that up with olive oil. Got to be careful. People do crazy things. But yeah, so it shuts. And my plants that I got from Walmart, priced between $10.99 to $20. A lot of different pothos and plants that are in the general family of the pothos. And so he's going to be very, very happy. Much happier than being stuck at Petco. And he's doing really well as far as I can tell. And he's eating really well. And he's great colors, staying a nice light green color, and showing that he's in a good mood and not stressed. And yeah, so excited to bring this content to you. Give me a like if you liked the content or found it helpful, or you just enjoyed watching. And again, I'm really happy to have him. He's definitely going to be a big benefit to just bringing me a lot of little extra joy. Also to my 4 boas and my 2 South American Argentine black and white red tegus, dual. I have 2. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.